areas to urban areas in search of better livelihood, in search of job, right now, but at the expense of harming the nature, right now. So
Yes, sir.
in all this, the nature is being harmed, right? So you see, all the countries are in the race towards the development, right? All the countries have set their goals right now to
Yes, sir.
set up more and more industries, right? To set up more power plants, etc. But all of that has led to deterioration of the quality of air, water, and soil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we talked about what is pollution simply. It refers to undesirable change in the environment, in the surrounding, right? And this has got effect on all the components of environment, right? Whether it's a
Yes, sir.
biotic component or abiotic component of the environment, right? Every component is being harmed by it, right? Then in our chapter, we have to especially study about pollution of air and water. Although there are other ways, other types of pollution also, like there is soil pollution and there is noise pollution also, right?
Yes, sir.
But our discussion will be mainly related to the air pollution and to the water pollution. Yes, Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum, how are you? And talking about the thing which basically leads to pollution, that has been called as pollutants, right?
Yes, sir.
So pollutants are also of different states. Okay, it could be gaseous, liquid, and solid in nature, right
Yes,
now.
sir.
Okay, who else hasn't joined yet?
Sir,
Arham.
Amazon.
Yeah, Arham, walaikum salam. Okay, Ahmad is not here. Okay, so pollutants could be in three states, right? So we did talk about the definition of pollutant, and I also told you, like, what is a heterogeneous substance and what is a homogeneous. What is a heterogeneous and homogeneous mixture? हमने ये भी discuss किया था, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, pollutants are also of different types. अगर मैं air pollution के भी हम बात कर रहे हैं, currently we are talking about air pollution. So in air pollution, the cause of pollution is basically pollutants, and pollutants will also be of two types. One will be the primary pollutants, and then you will have the secondary pollutants.
Yes,
Like
sir.
primary pollutants क्या है? That is carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide or sulfur dioxide that is emitting from different sources, right? Especially sulfur dioxide or carbon dioxide, mainly it can be evolving into the atmosphere from volcanic eruptions as well, or if there is some forest fire. So that is also one of the source of these pollutants. And apart from industries, households, these pollutants are also being released. So they are called as primary pollutants. So later on, what will happen? There will be certain reactions between these pollutants or between these pollutants and the rainwater. So thereby it lead to formation of secondary pollutants. So secondary
Yes, sir.
pollutants kya hai? It is simply acid rain. Getting it down. Okay. So that is all you need to know about the primary pollutants and secondary pollutants, right? Some other points, if you were to look here, like these are directly emitted from the sources to the atmosphere. Like अगर हम बात करते हैं acid rain की, acid rain is not being directly emitted into the environment, right? It actually
Yes, sir.
forms from the primary pollutants, isn't it? Isn't it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right now. So primary pollutants, they can affect living things directly and indirectly by forming secondary pollutants, right? So first thing ये directly हमें impact किस तरीके से कर रहा है? Like if you were to inhale air that is rich in carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, obviously those are carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas, methane is a poisonous gas, they are
Yes, sir.
toxic gas, they will be impacting us. वो हमें direct way में impact कर रहा है. अब indirect way में how these primary pollutants will be impacting our life?
Sir, acid
Yeah,
rain.
acid rain exactly, right? While the secondary pollutants are the result of chemical and photochemical reactions of primary pollutants, right now. So ये जो हमारे primary pollutants है like carbon dioxide or nitrogen dioxide or carbon monoxide, when they are released into the atmosphere, they will be reacting with water, Okay, and thereby lead to formation of acid rain as well.
Yes, sir.
Then secondary pollutants can affect living things directly. They can also affect living things directly, although they can also have indirect effect via some intermediate. Getting it now? Then
Yes, sir.
talking about primary pollutants, they are usually unstable pollutants, while secondary pollutants are usually stable or inert. Okay, so some of the things we need to discuss in detail, some of the things we just need to touch upon, right? Okay, talking about the primary pollutants, they are mainly impacting living organisms. While अगर हम acid rains की बात करें, that is the secondary pollutants. Apart from impacting the living organism, it is also impacting the non-living things, right? Like the sculptures, the
Yes, sir.
surface of the sculptures are being corroded. If you have
Sir,
the
Taj
example,
Mahal.
Taj Mahal, exactly, I was coming to that. So the surface of the Taj Mahal, it is also now being eroded because
Yes, sir.
of the reaction of the acid on it, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So the marble, okay, you see, Taj Mahal is basically made up of marble, white marble, and marble is nothing but limestone, right? Now, marble जो हम बात करते हैं, that is simply calcium carbonate है वो, it's limestone actually,
Yes, sir.
right? Now, so acid will be basically reacting with this calcium carbonate, that is limestone. Later on, this topic will come, so I will be discussing that in more detail. Okay. And what are some of the examples of primary pollutants? Have a look at some of them. Hydrocarbons, right? Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. All right now. So
Yes, sir.
remember the ones which I'm highlighting only. Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, okay, and nitrogen oxides. Why it is written as NOx? Because nitrogen oxides दो तरह के हो सकते हैं, NO2 and NO3 हो सकते हैं. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So यहाँ पे इसे NOx लिख दिया गया है simply. Then secondary pollutants are what? They are tropospheric ozone. Okay. Then they are other compounds like you can see that nutrient enrichment compounds are also there. Okay. Then secondary particulate matter is also there right now. Or you can just remember the example of acid rains. That will do for you guys. Okay. Okay. Now moving on, we were talking about air pollution. Okay. Before we
Yes,
further
sir.
talk about air pollution, anyone would like to define what is air pollution?
Sir, it is a mixture of gases.
Air pollution. Air pollution. What is air pollution?
Sir, the contamination of air with harmful gases like um, chlorofluorocarbons and carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide.
Exactly. The
So the
contamination.
presence of pollutants present in the air is also.
Mhm. Right. So air pollution is a situation which is mainly developed over the large cities right now, where there is a heavy contamination of the air with harmful gases, like it could be sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, carbon monoxide. It could be smoke or dust coming from the industrial sites right now. That is simply air pollution. Hey, ye. Getting it now? So the major pollutants here are as follows, like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides. These are the major components. Apart from these, हम include करते हैं smoke and dust को भी. You have to include them as well, right? Now let's talk about we did actually talk about the sources of air pollution or not? क्या हमने बात की थी? नहीं. I believe we didn't talk that. So sources of air pollution, what are the sources of air pollution? One by one, you guys start listing. First, Ahmed, name some sources of air pollution.
Uh, the factories uh,
Factories,
and
good.
like car exhaust and burning plastic garbages
Hmm. Good. Chimneys.
and
from the factories.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Burning of plastics, or you saying garbages. Okay, include that one also. Burning
So
of
first,
garbages here. We could include forest fire also. Forest fire also can be
Say
included over here.
vehicles.
Vehicles, very good. Okay. Exhaust gas that is emitted from the vehicles. I know.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then burning of like plastics is there, garbages is there. Still in villages, cow dungs,
Say
cow or
wood.
cow cow dung cakes are burnt right now.
Yes, sir.
Cow dung cakes are still being burned in the villages to cook the food.
Say woods also.
Woods also, we could include kerosene oil also,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. By the way, अगर मुझे बताना हो कि which fuel is a clean fuel. Suppose
So
I
What's
am
in
the?
my question is that if I were to ask all three of you, like, how do I test basically whether a fuel is a clean fuel or not?
so it should not produce much gases.
Hmm. ठीक है. Or
Say it should not leave remnants.
it should not leave any residue behind. Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, Ahmed. Look, if you were to burn a piece of wood, okay, and if you were to look at the LPG gas burning, okay, what is the difference between the two? What is actually the just by looking at the flames of the two fuel, what can we see, guys?
So in LPG, carbon, there is complete combustion.
And also the color of the flame is
Blue.
blue, right? While when we burn wood, is the color of the flame blue or yellow?
No, sir.
Yellow, sir.
Yellow,
It's yellow.
partial combustion.
Exactly. Because actually the carbon particles coming out of the wood is actually burning there. हमने, I
Yes, sir.
believe, in combustion of flames, we've discussed that the different regions of the flames.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who would explain to me the different regions of flame? Flame. क्या different regions होते हैं flame के? Yes. Anyone who would like to uh, explain to me what are the different regions of flame?
The first
Yes.
is the non-luminous part, which is the hottest part. It is
Mm-hmm.
also blue. And
Mm-hmm.
in the second layer is the luminous part, which is moderately hot. It is yellow in color. And the third is dark. It is the least hot, and it is non-luminous.
Okay. So outermost part, we get to see that it is bluish in color.
Yes, sir. But it
Okay.
is non-luminous.
It is non-luminous. So ये हमारा candle flame है. Let's get back to that topic. So that is the outermost zone. Second zone की color क्या होती है?
So yellow.
Yeah, could be orange or yellow, right? And in the middle, what is the color of the flame?
So
So it's,
black.
It's black. Exactly. So that is black over here. Right. So outermost zone ये है. This is the outermost zone. क्या कहा आपने इसके बारे में?
So it is the non-luminous zone, which is also the hottest part in a candle flame.
Look here. This is hottest part. That is correct. And also here complete combustion takes place.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So ये हमारा hottest zone था. Okay. Complete combustion was occurring here. Okay. Let's come to the second zone. So it will be either too hot, moderately hot, or cold.
So moderately hot.
ये
yes, sir.
moderately hot था. Moderately hot, right? Okay. Here, do we see full combustion or partial combustion?
Sir,
Sir,
partial combustion.
Partial combustion, good. Partial combustion is seen, right? Come to the innermost zone, right? So here, what do we see?
sir, no combustion takes place.
No combustion takes place. Almost no combustion takes place, right? And
Yes, sir.
यहाँ पे actually क्या burn हो रहा है basically?
Sir, the wax paper.
Yes, sir.
Exactly,
Wax.
exactly. यहाँ पर wax vapors burn हो रहे हैं. Very good, guys. Okay, so like this, in the middle of the class, we will be picking up some topics from the previous chapters as well, so that you guys will get to revise that as well. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
So basically, हमने ये देखा ना, like if you were to burn the wood, woods will usually give a yellow color flame. So yellow color flame basically indicates that it's not a clean fuel. While in the case of LPG, it gives off a blue flame, thereby indicating that it's a clean fuel. Right now. Okay. Then what are the some other sources, guys? इसके अलावा quickly, like smoke is emitted by the factories. No, factories smokes release हो रहे हैं, and then you get to see that from the thermal power plants also. Thermal power plants, earlier thermal power plants were operational on they were basically running on the burning of coal.
Yes, sir. The steam engine.
Exactly, in the steam engine also. So
Sir, refrigerators and air conditioners.
exactly, thermal power plants also, right?
Sir,
Then you also,
SPM.
which one?
SPM, suspended particulate matter.
Suspended particulate matter also, that is one of the also source. Good. Then you have like chlorofluorocarbons emitting from refrigerators.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but nowadays refrigerators that are manufactured, CFCs are not used in it. Okay, now अब use नहीं करते हैं इसे. Okay, then you get to see like oil refineries or industries which are engaged in the production of metals. Okay, so metals
Yes, sir.
or chemicals के manufacture में जो involved, which type of industries are involved in the refining of oils and creation of and preparation of different types of metals. They are also causing different types of air pollution right now. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
these are the general sources of air pollution. And one of the important thing we forgot over here, हमारे household से भी तो हो रहे हैं pollutions ना,
Yes, sir.
from household also, right? So this is generally the different sources of air pollution. So list them, note them down. Sources of air pollution.
Yes,
Now
sir.
next we will be talking about like what are the impacts of air pollution. Okay, so look at this image here. Okay, and actually read whatever is given over here. Like what are the health effects of air pollution that we get to see on the human body. So यहाँ पर आपको दिख रहा है like different components of the different pollutants are being mentioned over here. And in pollutants के वजह से impacts what are the impacts through which different parts of the body goes through. Okay, so look here, sulfur dioxide. It can lead to what? It can lead to headache, anxiety. Okay, then
Yes, sir.
particulate matter हमारे central nervous system को impact करता है.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you get to see like O3, that is ozone, particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, okay, VOCs. So ये हमारे eyes, ear, nose and throat में irritation पैदा करता है, and it could also lead to difficulty in breathing. Similarly, sulfur dioxide and ozone and particulate matter, they can also cause cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease, what does it mean? Disease related to heart.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then oxides of nitrogen can cause problems in liver, spleen, blood right now.
Yes, sir.
Or like if a person is exposed to too much of pollution from traffic, हाँ, कोई person traffic में बहुत ज़्यादा है, like for example the Traffic police. Okay. Usually, if you talk to the traffic police, now he will explain like what are the problems he's having due to exposure to the harmful gases coming out of the vehicles. Uh, so
Yes,
he
sir.
will be suffering from a variety of problems. Like he could be having irritation in the nasal passage, in the throat cavity region. He might be having problems.
Yes,
So
Yes,
sir.
sir.
overall, basically, recent studies also have shown that if a person is exposed to pollution for a long period of time, thereby it can lead to a variety of problems in the body, like low birth weight. हाँ, जो बच्चे उनके birth लेंगे, they will be having a lesser weight. Premature birth could be seen. Like usually the gestation period for women is 9 months, right?
Yes, sir.
But before 9 months also kids could be born, right? And we
Yes,
know
sir.
that full growth of the baby takes place during the duration of 9 months only. So if the delivery
Yes, sir.
takes place like before 9 months, for after 6 or 7 months or 8 months, the baby has to be placed in a incubator. Oh, no,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Then small for gestational age. That is what I was saying. That is what I was saying here. Impaired lung development. It could also lead to problems in the development of lung. Obviously, सबसे ज़्यादा lungs को impact करेगा ये, right now,
Yes, sir.
because the filtering unit of air in our body is simply lungs, right?
Yes, sir.
It could also lead to possible cases of autism also. So look how many problems this can create in the human body. Okay, the worst thing that could possibly happen would be lung cancer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
if you were to talk about India now, India will like there are so many peoples every year who are dying due to the air pollution. Hmm. अगर हम वर्ल्ड वाइड अगर बात करते हैं, approximately every year 20 lakh people dies. 2 million people um, not dies. There is, yeah, they are dying, but premature deaths are happening due to this. Okay, premature death, what does it mean? Usually life expectancy varies from country to country, you know,
Yes, sir.
but on it is 65 years. Okay, 65 to 70 years is the average age of human life. Okay, although from one country to another country it could differ. Why? Because the lifestyle of people is different from one country to another,
Yes,
right?
sir.
The diet of
Yes,
the
sir.
people, the food they consume, that is also different. That's why it impacts the lifespan of the people, right? But worldwide, almost 2 million premature deaths are seen due to the air pollution. So usually people will be dying at the age of like 40, 45, or 50, getting it now because of air pollution,
Yes, sir.
right? And these are the things which we already covered moments ago, like asthma हो सकता है people लोगों को. It could be like a cardiovascular damage could also be seen, fatigue, headaches,
Yes, sir.
anxiety, irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat. Right, and damage to reproductive organs can also be seen. All these are the things that could take place. Okay, in fact, when we say like damage to reproductive organs, so the person might suffer from infertility also. Okay,
Yes, sir.
infertility also. Getting it now? Okay. अगर हमारे घर से अगर हम बात करते हैं, like from where the yeah, sorry. So if we were to talk about like what could be the sources of air pollution that is coming from our houses, right? So from different parts of the houses, different sources of pollutants could be entering into the atmosphere. For example,
Yes, sir.
from bathrooms, bacteria, viruses, right? They could be released into the atmosphere. Not
Yes,
only
sir.
atmosphere, the pollutants that are coming from the from our houses, mainly most of the pollutant goes into the drain pipes, basically into the sewage. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Okay, so now we will be talking about different types of air pollutants, like sulfur dioxide की हम बात करेंगे, nitrogen oxides की हम बात करेंगे, right now, and then we'll be talking about like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and what are the
Yes, sir.
major sources from where they are coming. Okay,
Yes, sir.
So first thing we'll be talking about now is sulfur dioxide की हम बात करते हैं. Okay, sulfur is simply S. Di means two, oxygen is O. So di यानी कि two atoms of oxygen. So sulfur dioxide का formula होता है SO2. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sulfur, that is S, oxide, that is O, di, that means two. तो हमने इसके बेस पर, इसके फुट पर हमने 2 लिखा है. So that is the formula of sulfur dioxide. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what are the major sources from where the sulfur dioxide is coming? A major source is burning of coal in factories and in the thermal power plants.
Yes,
ठीक है
sir.
ना? So thing about is that the major source of SO2 is burning of coal. Of coal in thermal power plants
Yes, sir.
and factories. Okay. Like many times people give solutions like okay, coals are being burned to produce electricity. Why not we cover different parts of the world, like different desert regions with solar panels? Right now हम ऐसे भी
Yes, sir.
solutions propose करते हैं. We propose such type of solutions, right? But in fact it will lead to certain problems. Like for example, अगर मैं बात करता हूँ Sahara Desert की, if we were to talk about,
Yes, sir.
to talk about this Sahara Desert, right? It has been said that like why not just cover Sahara Desert with solar panels, but then that will lead to scarcity of rainfall in the Amazon, in the Amazon. Why is it so?
Yes, sir.
Why is it so?
Um,
Yes,
so I don't know.
anyone who would like to explain? Mhm. Why it's not actually a good choice to install solar panels in the Sahara Desert? Mhm.
The wildlife reasons.
Mhm. Wildlife
Wildlife.
regions. नहीं, हमारे पास like you have almost like 3.6 or 3.7 million square miles of area that is almost vacant, where there is no wildlife. Okay, Sahara Desert में हमारे पास 3.6 million square miles area है हमारे पास, that is almost vacant. Why can't we just utilize it and convert the whole area into a solar farm? Because बात ये है ना, where is Sahara Desert on the map, by the way?
Sir,
Mhm. Sahara Desert, where is it on the map?
sir, Africa.
Yeah, Africa. So look here, the thing over here is now, each year, billions of tons of dust particles actually travel from the Sahara Desert towards the Amazon forest. अब ये
Yes,
क्यों
sir.
होता है? Look here, in order for rainfall, क्या चाहिए हमें? Rainfall होने के लिए raindrops की formation जरूरी होती है, right?
Yes, sir.
And raindrops, to form raindrops, tiny, very tiny pieces of dust particles are needed, along which water molecules will coagulate.
Yes,
Hope
sir.
you guys are able to understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say here that raindrops, the formation hoti hai na, it actually needs very tiny particles of dust around which the water molecules will surround and then form droplets of water. So
Yes, sir.
क्या हो रहा है ना, basically all the tiny dust particles from Sahara Desert travels towards the Amazon basin, towards the Amazon rainforest, and thereby leads to rainfall in that region. अगर
Yes, sir.
हमने cover कर दिया है Sahara Desert को, thereby what will happen? Dust particles from the Sahara Desert will not be traveling towards the Amazon rainforest. Thereby there will be no rainfall, disturbance in rainfall pattern in that area. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
clear? Arhan, Arham, Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
getting it now? So solution, like it looks good. It looks good to hear. Yeah, why not just cover the whole area with the solar panels? But then, अगर हमने like अभी 4 to 5% area भी अगर हमने cover किया है with solar panels, it is a difficult task to manage them because solar technology it comes not cheap. It does not it's not cheap right now. It's an expensive technology, and managing it also requires certain cost.
Yes, sir.
Right now,
Yes, sir.
all right. Okay, coming back to sulfur dioxide over here, right? अब इसके अलावा भी sulfur dioxide are being produced by different other sources also. Okay, like अगर हम burn करते हैं petrol and diesel, so burning of petrol and diesel will also result in formation of sulfur dioxide.
Yes, sir. So
So
car will also release sulfur dioxide, right?
exactly, petrols and diesels when they are being burned into the in the car, so it basically exhaust gas to release of gas. So that will consist of sulfur dioxide in it. So burning
Yes.
of petrol and diesel, that is another source. Getting it now. So the fuel which you get to see, like हम fuels की अगर बात करते हैं like coal, petrol, right now coal or petrol or diesel की अगर हम बात करते हैं, so the main component in them that is actually the original fuel. वो क्या, वो तो कार्बन है ना basically. Any fuel, like अगर हम बात करते हैं coal की, like coal has
Yes, sir.
different qualities. Coal
Yeah.
comes in different grades, like you have lignite coal, peat coal, bituminous coal,
Anthracite.
anthracite, right? So anthracite is the oldest coal that was formed, right?
Yes,
It
sir.
was the oldest coal that was formed. ये carboniferous age में form हुआ था, right
Yes,
now.
sir.
अगर अर्थ की जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल की हम बात करें कि अर्थ जस्ट लाइक हमारे पास कैलेंडर हमारी खुद की है, लाइक यू हैव गॉट मंथ्स, डेज, years. Similarly, if you were to have a big calendar where you measure time in terms of millions of years ago, right now, so आज से तकरीबन 100 million years ago फॉर्म होना शुरू होता है एंथ्रासाइट, राइट?
Yes, sir.
सो एंथ्रासाइट यूजुअली आपको बहुत ही डेप्थ में मिलता है. इट इज यूजुअली फाउंड इन वेरी डेप्थ. गेटिंग इट? So
Yes,
thereby
sir.
what happens now? It was exposed to more heat and pressure. Thereby it accumulated more amount of carbon in it. Okay.
Yes,
By
sir.
the way, for the waste like plants, okay, usually coal तो हमारे plants based waste से बना है. So through which process the plants went through in order to become coal? What do we call that process as, by the way? If you remember,
So can
coal
you
and
repeat the
petroleum में
question?
discuss किया था. Yeah, my question is that different types of plants actually went through a process in order to become a coal.
Yes, sir.
What do we call that process as?
Destructive distillation.
Now that is a different thing. Destructive distillation is the refining of coal. Sorry, the refining of petroleum.
No, sir. That's fractional distillation.
Yeah, that is actually the refining of the coal to get the coal
The
powder.
breaking of coal.
Yeah, basically burning the coal in absence of air, right now.
Yes, sir.
So that gives different products like coal and coke and coal tar, etc. I'm talking
Yes, sir.
here that the different plants and the trees that were buried under the soil, under the rubble, it actually went through a process to get transformed into coal. That was simply carbonization now.
Oh, yes, sir. Carbonization.
Carbonization I'm talking about. Yes, Arham Ahmed, Arhan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is Ahmed in the class? Yes, Arhan. Okay. Right now. Now, अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं कि coal and if I'm talking about coal, petrol and diesel, they also consist of sulfur as impurity in them, right?
Yes, sir.
So petrol, diesel, petrol, diesel, and coal consist of sulfur. as impurity in them. So originally जो मैं अभी बात कर रहा था थोड़ी देर पहले, like I was saying that the plants went through the process of carbonization. So original
Yes, sir.
fuel is carbon actually when we talk about fossils and fuels. हम fuels
Yes, sir.
इस तरह के fuels की हम बात करते हैं which were formed through the process of carbonization. So main component in them is carbon. More the
Yes, sir.
carbon is present in the fuel, it will be a fuel that will give off more heat when burnt, right? So that is a better fuel. So तभी
Yes,
हमने
sir.
कहा कि anthracite, since it consists of more amount of carbon in it, thereby it's a better fuel. So here I am saying that this petrol and diesel, they are actually fossil fuels and ये भी, right now.
Yes, sir.
So thereby actually petrol and diesel and coal, they will consist of sulfur as impurity in them. Why sulfur as impurity? Because sulfur is not carbon, ये carbon से तो different चीज है, right? So
Yes,
sulfur
sir.
actually does not burn as good as carbon burns, thereby it's an impurity, right? So
Yes, sir.
when you will burn petrol, diesel, or car or coal here, it will actually give off sulfur dioxide gas.
Yes, sir.
So sulfur dioxide gas is released when you burn coal, or whether it's petrol or whether it's diesel. Now the question here is, Ahmed, Arham and Arhan, like,
Yes, sir.
why is it considered as impure? Why it is not a good thing for the environment? Because simply it will react with the water,
Rain.
with the
Yes, sir.
rainwater in order
Acid
to
rain.
produce
Yes,
acid rain.
sir.
Apart from that, also moments ago we saw that it can also lead to respiratory problems भी हो सकती है इससे,
Yes, sir.
right? So note over here that sulfur dioxide gas can cause respiratory problems. Second thing about it is that sulfur dioxide will react with water. Which water? Rainwater.
Yes, sir.
Rainwater.
In order to form sulfuric acid. Getting it now? H2SO4 क्या है ये?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sulfuric acid it is. Getting it now? Right. So thereby, whenever there will be acid rain, it will be damaging the trees, the plants, the soil. It will also
Yes, sir.
impact the aquatic animals, like fishes will be impacted.
Hmm.
Aquatic plants will also be impacted due to it. Different types of statues, buildings, or the historical moments, all of them will be impacted by it,
Yes, sir.
because acids are corrosive in nature, right?
Yes, sir.
Also sulfur dioxide की ही वजह से, because of this sulfur dioxide, smog is produced. Okay, so smog भी हमारा एक air pollutant है, which could be very deadly.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so SO2 gas leads to formation of a deadly pollutant, that is smog.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is all you need to know about sulfur dioxide. Any confusion regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
good then. Yes, Ahmed, first of all, you guys turn your cameras on. None of you have turned your cameras on.
Yes, sir.
All of you, turn your cameras on in the class. Yes, Ahmed, Arhan, turn your cameras on in the class. Now, next we'll be discussing about the nitrogen oxides. So nitrogen oxides are produced by the burning of, it is also produced by the burning of fuels like petrol or diesel in motor vehicles.
Yes,
So
sir.
motor vehicles से
Sir.
दोनों ही हमारे pollutants release होते हैं, right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now similarly, factories में जब हम coals burn करते हैं, or in the thermal power plants when you burn it, there also nitrogen oxides are produced.
Yes, sir.
So nitrogen oxides. अब nitrogen oxides मैंने कहा दो तरह के produce होते हैं. It will be NO2, it would be
And
NO3.
next.
NO3. So one is called as
Nitrite and nitrate.
nitrate, another one is called as nitrite.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
right? So it will be produced due to burning of coal, petrol and diesel burn करने से ये produce होते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
No. No. Actually, the thing here is that when you burn fuels like petrol, diesel, and coal, they gives off high temperature, right? So when we
Yes, sir.
burn fuels like petrol, diesel, and coal, high temperature is produced, right? And due to that, what happens? Some of the nitrogen and oxygen that is present in the air nearby, wherever the fuel is being burned, nitrogen oxide present in the air will combine together to form nitrogen oxides.
Yes,
ठीक है
sir.
ना? So
Sir.
suppose you are burning coal and petrol or diesel somewhere, आप burn कर रहे हैं. So the heat that is being released due to the burning of it, उस heat की वजह से जो भी हमारे nitrogen and oxygen molecules present होंगे air में, they will basically react in order to form NO2 or either NO3. Is that
Yes,
clear
sir.
to all three of you? So that is
Yes,
how
sir.
Yes, sir.
nitrogen oxides formation takes place. Because usually क्या होता है ना, we get to see like nitrogen and oxygen, they can exist independently without
Yes,
combining
sir.
with each other. But if they are exposed to high temperatures, then they will combine.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? So oil refineries हमने
Yes,
देखते
sir.
हैं कि like oil refineries will also produce and emit nitrogen oxides into the air right now.
Yes, sir.
So another source of it is the oil refineries.
Yes, sir.
Now, next thing is that how this nitrogen oxide impacts the human body. Like it will be impacting the breathing system. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
also can lead to lung congestion. So
Yes,
अगर
sir.
मैं impacts की बात करता हूँ, it can lead to breathing problems, asthma, okay, lung congestion,
Yes, sir.
getting it now. So ये problems होंगे. फिर like it can also impact the skin also. Okay now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it will be impacting the skin also. Okay, and just like the nitrogen oxide, there's some hitting noise coming from someone's mic. Please turn your mic off. Okay, thank you. So just like the sulfur dioxide, it will also be leading to formation of secondary pollutant. ये हमारा
Yes,
primary
sir.
pollutant है, but it will give birth to the secondary pollutant. That is acid rain.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? And in this case, it will be forming nitric oxide,
Nitric acid.
nitric acid. Exactly. So although it's a primary pollutant, but it will lead to formation of secondary pollutant. That is nitric acid. The formula is HNO3. Okay, that is the formula of nitric acid. Okay, similar to sulfur dioxide, ये भी contribute करेगा smog के formation में. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So smog formation will also be triggered due to this. Getting it?
Yes,
No,
sir.
smog actually क्या है? The question comes like, what is this smog we have been talking about? So smog, it is also an air pollutant which is formed by the combination of smoke and fog, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So smog is basically any type of smoke plus fog combined together, right? Getting it now? Now, हम winter season में usually smog को देखते हैं because in
Yes,
the
sir.
winter season only fog is present, right? So the minute water particles that you see suspended in the air near the surface of the earth during the cold weather, it is actually
Smoke.
fog, but then combined together with smoke also.
Smoke.
So it basically
Yes,
becomes
sir.
smog, right now.
Small.
So if you were to
Yes, sir.
visit highly areas which are having a dense traffic in the parts of Delhi or in the Mumbai, वहाँ आप ये observe कर सकते हैं, right?
Yes,
Almost
sir.
visibility range is lower down to like 4 to 5 meters. आपके आगे
Yes, sir.
like 1-2 मीटर बाद कौन सा इंसान खड़ा है, क्या है आपके सामने, आपको पता नहीं चलता, राइट ना.
Yes, sir.
So thereby usually in the winters train accidents are also common, vehicles
Yes,
accidents
sir.
car accidents are also common. Correct. That's
Yes,
why
sir.
we need to lower down the speed of the vehicles while we are uh, traveling in the winter season where there is smog. Getting it?
Yes,
So
sir.
that is all you need to know about it. Getting it now? और हमने देखा कि breathing problems हो सकते हैं, lung congestion could be there, skin. In fact, asthma. One of you mentioned about asthma. Asthma can also be there. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. खास करके ये problems हैं like the problems like asthma or lung congestion. These could be seen especially in the childrens also. Okay.
Hmm.
Now the next air pollutant we are going to talk about is carbon monoxide.
Yes, sir.
Anyone who has studied about carbon monoxide, like how it is formed and
So
how
it
it
is
is different
formed
from. Mhm.
by the incomplete combustion of fuel.
Exactly.
So it is very harmful, and
Hmm.
when a human inhales it, it combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin,
Ha,
and this
Yes, sir.
doesn't allow oxygen to be carried with hemoglobin, which may cause suffocation and also death.
very good, very good. Right. So in this manner, it could be very lethal. It could be very deadly. Getting it down.
Yes, sir.
So first thing about it is that it is formed due to incomplete combustion. So whether we have any fuels, आपके पास कोई सी भी fuel है, whether it is coal, whether it is petrol or diesel, right now,
Yes, sir.
or like you have the kerosene oil.
Hmm.
First of all, you guys tell me like why there is a incomplete combustion of fuel taking place here.
So no sufficient amount of oxygen.
Hmm. Exactly, due to lesser availability of oxygen for the fuel to burn right now.
Yes, sir.
So also, agar, like it's usually recommend to keep the engines of the vehicles proper, right? अगर engine
Hmm.
खराब है vehicle का, thereby you will get to see like the
Hmm.
exhaust gas that will be coming off it will be
Yes, sir.
black. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
that basically indicates that the engine is not working properly. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Especially like if you were to see like 10 years ago, there were different Jeeps. Nowadays, like you have got the vehicles that are more environment friendly. As if you were to compare them with the vehicles that were in use like 10 to 15 years ago, so they were basically running on diesel, right?
Yes, sir.
Still there are several vehicles जिनके engines बड़े होते हैं. The vehicles that are using bigger engines, they still operate on diesel. Okay.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
But then the like 10 to 15 years ago, there were jeeps running on parts on the streets of Delhi in different streets basically, that were basically running on diesel. And if you ever happen to travel on them, you'll get to see that it releases a lot of dust of exhaust gas that is basically black.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
right now. So
Hmm.
incomplete combustion वहाँ पे होता था. Getting it? Now the
Yes, sir.
problem caused by the carbon monoxide, as you said, that it basically combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin.
Yes, sir.
So thereby, the thing here is now this carbon monoxide has got a higher affinity for um, hemoglobin than oxygen. The
Yes, sir.
higher affinity, what does it mean? Meaning having more tendency to react with the um,
Hemoglobin.
hemoglobin than the oxygen. Thereby, it can
Yes, sir.
easily mix with the water, with the
Hmm.
blood here, basically. Getting it now? So whether
Yes,
like
sir.
if you were to look at the cigarette smoke also consists of carbon monoxide क्योंकि वहां पर
Hmm.
भी
Yes,
properly
sir.
burn नहीं होता है. So all that white smoke that you are seeing, hmm, that is actually carbon monoxide. बहुत ही
Monoxide.
present होता है उसमें. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So we get to see that this is a poisonous gas actually,
Hmm.
right? So that is why I say that the person who is in front of the smoker is in more danger than the one who is smoking,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
it will combine with the hemoglobin of our blood and then reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood.
Yes, sir.
reduces the oxygen carrying capacity. Thereby we get to see like अगर किसी की body में hemoglobin की कमी होती है, thereby the person is not well, he suffers from weakness. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So that is all we need to know about carbon monoxide. Okay. Then you have another pollutants
Carbon
like
dioxide.
chlorofluorocarbon is also there here.
Hmm.
We will discuss carbon dioxide also. अगर हम बात करते हैं क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन्स की, yeah, sorry. So if you were to talk about chlorofluorocarbon, in short, written as CFCs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the chemical compounds which are made up of different elements like chlorine, fluorine, and carbon. ये किससे
Yes,
बना
sir.
होता है? C here
Chlorine,
stands for chlorine.
Chlorine.
F
fluorine,
here stands for fluorine.
Fluorine.
Okay. And C here stands for carbon.
Carbon.
So CFCs are the chemical compounds that are made up of chlorine, fluorine, and carbon elements. Okay. इन्हें commonly हमने
Yes, sir.
CFCs कहा है. Getting it?
Hmm.
So where are these gas being used? They are used in
The
refrigeration.
refrigerators and
Air
AC.
conditioning.
Exactly. Refrigerations में use करते हैं, air conditioners में use करते हैं, and aerosol sprays आपने सुना है? Aerosol sprays,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
No, sir.
right now. Aerosol sprays में भी use होता है ये. Aerosol spray. Arham explain what it is. Aerosol sprays क्या होते हैं? Yes. Arham, aerosol spray. You said you know this.
No, sir. I didn't say. I don't know.
Look here. Aerosol sprays now. They are used for a variety of purposes. Like for example, disinfectants आते हैं ना, disinfectants,
Hmm.
or like the inhalers. Okay,
Yes,
inhalers
sir. Yes, sir.
or like the paints बनते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Getting it now? Or like the
Hmm.
cleaning purposes के लिए जो sprays आते हैं. All of them are
Yes, sir.
basically
Yes, sir.
aerosol sprays, right now. So
Yes, sir.
paints जो हम देखते हैं, spray paints, that are also aerosol sprays. So
Yes,
these
sir.
are simply aerosol sprays. Getting it now?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now coming back to our topic, that is CFCs, that is basically used in refrigeration, ACs, and aerosol sprays, right? So
Yes, sir.
all these sources now, they will be releasing chlorofluorocarbons into the air, right?
Yes, sir.
Industrially, अगर हम बात करें, these are actually the useful gases. Okay.
Hmm.
Industrially, these are the useful gases, but they also behave as air pollutants. Okay. Like
Yes, sir.
industries
Yes, sir.
make car paints करने के लिए, and for in ACs, in refrigeration, this gas is being used, but they are also adding contamination to the air, so thereby they are air pollutants. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
अब हमने इसे एयर पॉल्यूटेंट की कैटेगरी में क्यों रखा है? बिकॉज CFCs actually damages the ozone layer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ozone layer
Yes, sir.
that is existing higher up in the atmosphere or in the upper atmosphere we're present here. Basically in the upper layers of the stratosphere. Getting it
Yes,
now?
sir.
So this CFCs is actually depleting the ozone layer.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
ये
sir.
ozone layer को actually deplete कर रहा है, right? So whenever
Yes, sir.
chlorofluorocarbons are released into the air, it will go up and ultimately reach um, to the ozone layer and then react with the ozone layer. Ozone gas ही
Yes, sir.
react करता है and then slowly it will start to destroy it,
Hmm.
right? And हमें पता है कि ozone layer की काफी significance है. Like it prevents the harmful and extremely harmful radiations, that is the ultraviolet radiations को ये
Yes,
earth
sir.
तक
Yes,
आने
sir.
में stop करता है. How? Basically it absorbs it, right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So thereby if you were to Google